up your YouTube, search for Stukeley Meadows, watch on your big screen.
Or another device if you're at home.
Get yourself comfy, this could take a while. What a happy scene. Something new every day for your long-term memory. This is so exciting, it is nearly time for a Stukeley assembly.
Well, hello there everybody and welcome to today's Values Assembly. Let's get started in the usual way with our values. For each other we, every day we, to improve we, and together we will. And our everyday focuses are, and our Stukeley motto is, and our Stukeley curriculum is, and 4 words that make the magic happen. Brilliant. Okay, well, hi there everyone and welcome to Assembly. I hope you've all been enjoying or did enjoy a very sunny and warm weekend. We talked a lot about the sunshine last week, if you remember, but what exactly was my point? Was it actually an assembly about the sun or something else? Now, I'm just going to pause for a few minutes while your teachers ask one of you perhaps to put your hands up or pick somebody to answer that question. Brilliant, that was it. It was an assembly encouraging us to be the sunshine, to be that sunshine kind of person, the person who is an encourager, the person who motivates others, the person who cheers other people up, that person that brings a little bit of sunshine and a little bit of joy into other people's lives. So I hope that you all actually managed that. To be that person and managed that in the last week. But keep going because it really does make a difference, not just for last week, but every week and every day going forward. Now, today and over the next few weeks, we are going to be revisiting our specific school values. And today we're going to have a think about the care value. And you know that that's a value that I value, not just because of being part of Stukeley, but because I think it's really, really important. So I talk a lot about it. But this week, thinking about care. Now I'm going to show you a picture that lots of you may well have seen on newspapers or on the internet, or you might have even seen on the news in the past week. So let me just show you the picture. Here it is. Okay. You just about see. Okie dokie. So there is the picture. I'm going to give you half a minute, teachers, if you want to just pick someone in the class who can tell you something about that image if they know anything. So I'm going to pause in time here. Okay, so you might have seen, if you could see clearly on that picture and you were perhaps at the front of the class, you might have seen that it said at the bottom of that picture that it was a photo from the G7 summit that was meeting over this past weekend in Cornwall. And those 7 that you can see in that photograph are kind of world leaders. And there was somebody from the United States, there was somebody from Canada, somebody from France and Germany and Italy and also Japan and of course the United Kingdom. So all of those countries were represented at this summit, which is basically a big meeting. Now, there were lots and lots of things that the leaders were discussing at that summit, but one of the things that it was definitely discussing is around climate change and looking after the planet, about what we can do to take better care of the world in which we live. And I'm sure over the coming days we'll hear more and more about what was agreed as a result of that meeting. Now, some of you might have watched television programs or heard people talking about different things that are damaging the natural world. Perhaps you've heard talk about how plastic waste has found its way into the world's oceans and seas, and it's endangering marine life, so all the creatures that live in the seas and the oceans. You might have heard about destructions of rainforests in various parts of the world, and how bringing down all of the trees has destroyed habitats for animals that live there. And now some of those animals are in danger of becoming extinct, which means they might cease to exist in the future. And there are other aspects involved with climate change and some of the problems that it seems to be bringing to the world, which was why it's a topic for those 7 very important statesmen and women to be discussing. Now, as I watched the news coverage of this summit during the course of the weekend, it really made me think. I know that world leaders have to make big decisions on behalf of the countries that they represent, but also on behalf of the wider world community. But what does that actually have to do with you or me? In our small communities, either our families, our homes, or our neighbourhoods, or even our school community. What does that have to do with us? What difference does it make? And I was wondering if there is something that we could perhaps do in small ways that might help us care for the planet. Or is it not the things that we can do in small ways? Or is it more about the big important decisions that powerful people make? So I did what every good researcher does when they're beginning to think, what could I do to make a difference? I Googled it, just like everybody does. Now, if you would like, you can pause me now, teachers, for a short while, if that's useful. And you could perhaps come up with a list of ideas that you as a class can think of about things that we could do to care for our planet. And perhaps even smaller than that, our very small part of the planet that we live on here in the UK, and more specifically, most of us and most of you living in Huntingdon. So you can pause me now if that's helpful, or it could be something you can come back to later. So you might have considered, or you might have mentioned or thought about, if you've not had a chat about it, things like recycling perhaps. I wonder if anyone thought about recycling rubbish, sorting your rubbish into the blue bin or into the green bin if it's food or garden waste, for example. Perhaps you thought about using low energy light bulbs, or people talked about turning their heating down or even off so that you use less energy. Or maybe using your own shopping bags instead of buying plastic ones when you go shopping. There are lots and lots of ways or things that we can do in very small ways that might make a difference. And there are lots of good websites as well that you could look at if you were interested. So all of those things are really good, and I can try to make sure that I use my own bags. I can try to remember to switch off the lights or turn my heating down on all of those things. But that kind of got me thinking too. I wonder what we could do as a school that might not seem like a really big deal, but can still actually make a difference, that we can make a difference in small ways. So I wonder what we could do in school. Now, again, if you want to talk about that right now, then you can pause the video. Otherwise, we'll just carry on, and that could be something we talk about and think about going forward. So we could perhaps think about walking or biking or scooting to school instead of using cars, because we know that cars can impact the environment and pollute the environment. Even if you only get to do it sometimes. I mean, I can't do it, for example, because I live too far from school. But on the days when I'm not coming into school, I might think about walking somewhere or going on my bike somewhere instead of going in my car, for example. So that could be something, couldn't it? We can use refillable drinks bottles or water bottles. Lots of you bring those to school anyway, so that's a really good thing because we're not throwing things away, we're just using them over and over, which is really, really good. A really easy one for all of us, we can put litter in the bin. And that includes, by the way, the towels that we use to dry our hands on after lunchtime hand washes. I've seen them blowing around, So you need to make sure you're really good on your litter, making sure it gets into the bin. It's important that it doesn't just blow around because it could then blow over the fence, it goes into the stream, it gets stuck in a nearby tree, and that could cause damage to some of the wildlife that there is around the school, for example. So really important, something we could do with litter, something we can all do. We could recycle rubbish by taking things home and putting them in the right bin when we finish with them. We could maybe try to reduce the amount of rubbish that we have. So we have things in pots that can be reused rather than in lots of wrappers and stuff that will get thrown. We can turn taps off so that we don't waste water. There's lots of things that we can do that aren't really big or difficult things, but nonetheless, if we all did them, I'm sure that those things would make a difference. Now, I'm sure you can come up with lots of really good ideas and more ideas and better ideas about how we can care for our planet, including the very small part of the planet that we live on and where our school is. Now, I would really love to hear from you this week. If you have got some ideas of things that we could do, you think perhaps in school, or things that you're going to try to do at home to care better for the environment and care better for the planet. So I would be really interested to hear. You can come and tell me if you see me. You can write it on a little piece of paper and it can find its way to my office if you give it to your teacher, for example. So that would be really great. So today's value we've been thinking about is our care value. And in particular, we've been thinking about caring for the planet on a big scale and also our immediate environment, the places where we live and the place where we go to school. All of us can do it, I'm sure. So that's it for this week. Have a great week, everyone. Take care of yourselves as well as the environment this week, and work hard, be kind. See you soon.
Thank you, Mrs. Stevens, for our value starter. Let's finish with some Stukeley shout-outs. First of all, Alyssa, Year 5, is an AR millionaire. Yes, she is. Her last book and her last quiz took her over the line. Very, very proud indeed. I hope she is, and I hope her family and her friends are too. Birthdays today. Well, what have we got? I'll tell you what we've got. We've got happy birthday to Hannah in Year 2. Hannah, you're with your friends, having a great time hopefully, and you've had a chance to celebrate with family. Happy birthday to you today. Shout out to Mia in Year 2. Mia has just got her half marathon wristband from all of the Jubilee Park runs that she does. Here's a photo. And I think at the weekend she got her personal best, which I think was just over 13 minutes, I think. Fastest she's ever run. Keep going, Mia and the family, doing a brilliant job. Joe in Year 6. Now, Joe in Year 6's brother, George, last week I celebrated George for cycling 100 miles to raise money for Pidley Mountain Rescue Service. Well, actually, his brother Joe has also cycled and walked every single day, I mean serious amounts of miles, to raise money for children with cancer. Here's a quick photo. Well done, Joe. Top work. You and your brother and everybody else that's working hard for charity. I think it's time for Numbots or Rockstars. Who's been doing lots of maths? Jam is stored in jars. Who's been calculating lots on Numbots and TT Rockstars? Who's been doing lots of maths? Jam is stored in jars. Who's been calculating lots on Numbots and TT Rockstars? I've got a load of certificates to give out around school today, thanks to Mrs. Campbell for them. But let's see how quickly we can celebrate Rockstars and Numbots battles. Foundation stage. Juniper class got 8,067 points. Rowan got 16,172 points. Top 6 players: Ava, Aliyah, Daisy, Reese, Charles, Mila. Top work, you 6. Year 1, 26,478 for Magnolia. Only 5,797 for Cherry. Crikey. Top 6 players: Maximus, Freddie, Sadie, Sarayu, Thanushka, David. They're the top 6. Come on, Cherry, you can do this. Year 2. Oh, we always get a bit nervous about Year 2. Maple, 21,811. Pine, 15,590. And guess what? Maple have done it without Angus scoring a massive amount. Well done, Angus, for calming down your massive score, and well done everyone in Maple for stepping up. Brilliant news. Leon, Toby, Max, top 3. Olivia, Elsie, Ben, top 3. Well done, year 2s. Year 3. Oh, will it be the week? Will it be the Willow week? 2,090 for Lime. 1,559 for Willow. Oh, a really low week for both year 3s. That was a chance for Willow, I'm sure. Yasmin, Stefan, Maya, Cameron, Harry, Robbie, top 6 players in year 3. Year 4, 8,198 for Acacia, 15,568 for Birch. They have done it. Alan, Zyra, Isaac, Bowen, Kieran, Joseph, top 6 players. Year 5, 5,395 for Beach, 8,095 for Chestnut, who have taken it. Ava, Christian, Igor, Tashina, Eloise, Sophia, top 6 players. And finally, year 6. I know we've only got a few of you in school at the moment because they're residential. 2,912 for Oak, 7,738 for Sycamore. Jessica, Robert, Evie, George, Heather, Bella, top 6 players. Well done. It does feel like we're running out of energy. I know it's hot. I know you're spending more time outside. That is brilliant. And I know you're still reading and AR quizzing, but we've got to keep up with the read, write, quiz, spell, calculate. Come on, Stukeley, we've got this. Let's finish with the most important 60 seconds.
The most important 60 seconds are coming up now. The most important 60 seconds are coming up now.
Hey! The Oakleaf Bookshop is back this week. It's open today for year 1, year 2, year 4, year 5. It's open on Thursday for foundation stage, year 3, year 6. We've got a lot of new books. We've got new badges. We've got new stationery. We've got lots of new bits. We've also got here a massive bag of fiddle toys. Now, these aren't going to be 50p each. They aren't going to be £1 each. They're going to be £1.50 each. Mrs. Booth managed to get me a load of fiddle toys and I can only do them for £1.50 each. But we have got all sorts. You know, all the kind of things that you love and you're all going, I mean, we've got lots here. I don't know how long they're going to last. We've got loads of them. I mean, the whole bag, look. Whole bag there. Happy for you to buy them in school. As long as you buy a book, that's the deal. But they go straight home. If you're caught playing with these in school, not using them sensibly, you only use them sensibly at home, then they'll be removed. So buy them in school, take them straight home. Have a great day, everyone.